mortality. 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 Good morning, Nerd Venges, Broke Venges, and visitors to the tower. Apologize. Chet is doing things a little different this morning, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. We'll be wow, what a follow-up. Nice job, guy. We'll be live in just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. If you could tap that like button, it would be a beautiful thing. I would appreciate it. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon. What is this, like Eli Golding shit, man? What are you doing to me? No! God damn, that's more like it. Yo, the vibe is on the house today. Catch that shit. Okay. That's kind of a whatever, dude. Just put me on. I'm over it. Put me on. What's up? Hello. Good morning. Welcome. Stream. Welcome. YouTube. How are you? My name's Josh. Welcome to the show, Nerdvengers, Brokevengers, visitors, haters, lovers, ex-lovers. How are you? Hope you're doing well. We got a show. I want to talk about Reed Richards. I want to talk about Doctor Doom. Yesterday, I thought the stream was pretty cool. We went into the theater. We watched some vids about the lead up to Secret Wars, Jonathan Hickman's run. It was really, really cool. We're going to do something similar today. I want to talk all about Doctor Doom and relate it to the rumors that are out there about Doctor Doom being behind the scenes in maybe Black Panther 2 and Namor maybe being the front-facing villain with Doctor Doom sort of behind the curtain. There's also a lot of fun speculation and sort of rambling that I'd like to do about, in general, how the place we're at right now in the MCU is going to lend itself to the machinations of one Doctor Doom. It's kind of how it's going to go. But also, when we do get to Secret Wars, if anybody knows the ending to the Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars, then you will know Victor and Reed and their rivalry is like the whole ending. It's like the whole ending is predicated on you understanding and really feeling the conflict, tension, relationship that those two characters have had. So there's a lot that we have to get into. There are rumors as far as who is cast, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, etc., etc. We'll get into all that as well. Dude, no, I can't do the Eli Golding stuff today, man. I can't do it. Just, something like that. That's fine. So we're going to have a good show today. But before we get into that, show notes. Thank you, Chet. Okay. First up and most pertinent to you, and I'm going to do this hella quick today. This weekend, I'm out of town. I will not be on the Nerdvengers stream, nor the Nerdvengers Prime stream. We'll be back at it next weekend. I believe either Al, Ryan, Lavis, Godfather, Bill, somebody's going to cover for me this weekend. So you will still get a Nerdvengers stream on Saturday. But I will be out of town. No stream on Sunday. We'll be back to business Monday, okay? That's what's most pertinent. Other than that, you will have After Dark. I think you will have afternoon as well. And you'll have After Dark, of course, Thursday night as per usual, starting at 9 p.m., streaming for a couple of hours. And then Friday morning, Nerdvengers. I have a feeling. I've got a feeling. This episode of WandaVision, I think it's going to be a turning point. So we do our watch parties 3 a.m. Thursday night, Friday morning, depending on how you look at it, Eastern Standard Time. Nerdvenger members, we will do that watch party. Then we will go right into a spoiler-filled stream early in the morning, 4 a.m. probably, around that time. So expect all that per usual stuff. The content will be rolling the way it usually does, just no streams on DOS weekend. I think that's pretty much it. For the show notes, and we can kind of go from there. So I want to kind of ramble about Doctor Doom. I want to talk about Reed. I want to talk about the whole thing. We'll get into Q&A. I know some people are probably curious about nerd theory and Star Wars. How much do I actually hate Star Wars? How much do I actually hate Star Wars fans? 11 out of 10. So we can leave it there. But no, we can do Q&A later in the stream. We can get into all of that if you are curious. But for now, we go to Marvel Town. Let's just have fun. So let's start here. I always like to get a temperature of the chat. I'd like to see where people are at. Tell me on a scale from 1 to 10 in the chat, how much do you know about Doctor Doom? How much does this chat know about one Victor Von Doom? I'd like to know. And then I also would like to know how much this chat knows about one Reed Richards. I'm trying to see if I can find a little vidya that we might be able to watch here, huh? All right, let's see what you guys are saying. Whoa, okay. Okay, a lot of lows, couple highs, a lot of lows. Wow, a lot of lows. Wow, a couple highs, but a lot of lows. That's okay. Wow. Okay, so we need a refresher. We need some education. We need some education here. It's a good thing I asked. I was about to just roll into it. I was about to just roll on in. I wonder, you know, You know what? Nerd Sage, you get the click. Nerd Sage, you get the click today, brother. And we'll set it up in the theater in just a second here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do our little React Andy. Let's get it set up. You know what? While we're doing this too, y'all let me know. Let's do Reed. I almost don't need to know, but let's do Reed. How much y'all know about Reed Richards? Put it into the chat. Put it in to the chat. If you'd be so kind. Oh, man. Okay. All right, lads and lasses. Let's see what you've said. Let's see what you've said before we get into this video. I'm here nowhere, says worst. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So people know more. It seems like people know more. There's still a lot of lows, but it seems like people know more about Reed. Interesting. That is not what I would have. That is not what I would have anticipated. How much does it cost to become a member? It's only your firstborn. And then I believe like guaranteed souls of like their offspring for 1,000 years or something like that. You'd have to check the fine print. But it's something to that effect. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, so New Sage. New Sage. Here we go, boyos. Y'all ready for this? Don't copy strike me, New Sage. Copy strike me, we're going to have problems, bro. Oh, Superman. Hey. Cool. Cool. Nice intro.
Hi, everybody. I hope you're having
a
great
yeah, we've
day.
done this dude before.
In this
this
video,
dude's
I'm
great.
going to be covering Dr. Doom.
I wish his mic was a little bit better. Or maybe even if he had like a foam thing around it or something like that. He's probably using it anyway.
Who happens to be one of the members' picks of the month. He made his first appearance in Fantastic Four, issue number 5, that was released in July of 1962. His real name is Victor Von Doom, and he stands 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighs 225 pounds.
6'2", 220. Not bad.
Although when he's wearing his armor, he stands 6 feet 7 inches tall and weighs 415 pounds.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Let's go.
Hair. Now, Doom is a very unique figure within the Marvel Universe, being one of the most genius minds on Earth, as well as being one of the most proficient sorcerers and magic wielders on Earth.
Yeah, so that is really where Doom's, where his uniqueness comes into play within the Marvel MCU, is that he is a genius, like Tony Stark level, like Reed Richards level genius. And also on the magic side, he's like right up there with Steven. Like it's crazy. So let's keep going.
Which naturally makes him a force to be reckoned with. Although many of his mystical powers were derived from 3 demons called the Hazareth 3, and he lost some of these abilities when he angered them, Dr. Doom has exhibited the ability to emit mystical blasts, force fields, evoke entities, cast and reverse spells, teleport through space, multiple dimensions and time, absorb the powers of others, heal himself and those around him, as well as exercise a degree of elemental control, being able to manipulate localized weather patterns. And these were just a few of his magical abilities. Honestly, as you'll see in a minute, it's very hard to determine what Doom is using when he exhibits his powers.
Right,
be it
exactly.
mystical forces or just technological means that he's developed through his...
Yeah, so that's kind of the thing is like, you don't even know for sure if he's using tech or he's using magic or is he using tech and magic kind of combined. But some of my favorites, I mean, like, I'll show you guys some of my favorite like Doom moments and stuff like that. But just very powerful, OP.
Massive genius. He'd also be what's considered a human mutate, over the years learning how to enhance himself from various aliens and other mutants, such as the Ovoid's race and the Marquis of Death. This has given him a wide range of psionic abilities, being able to transfer his mind into other beings, hypnotize those that are weak around him, exhibit technopathy and control over technologies around him, as well as just full-blown telekinesis. And he can even nullify or block the full power of other superpowered beings around him, which he's shown on multiple occasions with the Fantastic Four. Dr. Doom's amazing extreme intelligence has also allowed him to become one of the greatest martial artists in the world.
Yeah, so are you starting to kind of put it together? Are you starting to kind of see where the fanboys are like, oh, Doom, fuck Doom, let's go, Doom.
Captain America, Black Panther, and Taskmaster over the years, sometimes without even having the aid of his technology or magic. He's also extremely charismatic and influential, using his political position as the leader of Latveria for various purposes. Dude is just very cultured and suave, and people pick up on that. And to top it all off, he has an extreme indomitable will, likely having the strongest willpower of anyone on Earth. He's able to resist psychic attacks from...
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think he has the strongest willpower on Earth. I think that's actually why Jonathan writes him as the person that is almost like the necessary evil in a sense. Like, there's a lot of weird stuff that's going on in Jonathan's Secret Wars, but there's some Dune like stuff in there too, right? So like, I don't know, his just will is literally what caused him to be able to not only figure out what was going on with the Beyonders, but then to be able to beat them and save the multiverse. Like, he just had the will to do it. Reed was trying. Reed's best shot was creating the Ark. You know what I mean?
From some of the most powerful telepaths in the Marvel Universe, simply using his willpower alone. And that's not to mention that when he was once tortured in hell, he did not let out one single cry of pain the whole time. His willpower itself could possibly be considered a superhuman ability. And when you consider that this man has all of these abilities, and then put that in a special titanium alloy, nuclear-powered suit that was also magically enhanced, you have a beast on your hands. Now, the suit itself has so many abilities that I won't even name them all. Just put it this way, it's a slightly less strong...
So this is him, like, going into hell to face Mephisto. Crazy, guys. Like, the homie all right, let's just keep going.
Iron Man suit. Being able to lift what I estimate to be around 80 tons, yet also possessing unique esoteric types of capabilities, such as your teleportation and time travel tech, as well as little details like the armor possessing actual splinters of the true cross of Jesus Christ in it.
What?
Which Doom claims that he added to give himself more resistance to undead enemies.
That's amazing.
Such as Dracula. I tell you, man, this guy has thought
I didn't
of it
even know
all.
that.
Now, Victor Von Doom was born in a Romani camp in the tiny kingdom of Latveria, which was located in the Balkan Mountains of Eastern Europe. While he was still a baby, his mom Cynthia died performing a spell that went wrong with Mephisto.
Okay, this is really, like, a lot of what, this is all like fanboys. This is really what you need to pay attention to right here, okay? Here we go.
Still a baby, his mom Cynthia died performing a spell that went wrong with Mephisto, which would later lead Victor to have a major grudge against this powerful demon. Nevertheless, a few years went by, and while he was still just a boy, his father named Werner von Doom, who was known as a healer in the region, was recruited to save the wife of the Latverian Baron, but he was unable to heal her illness. Werner would then take Victor and leave his home, trying to escape the ruler's retaliation, only to die himself in the cold. Victor would survive, but this harsh beginning to life would set the stage for his tyrannical personality. Subsequent to this, Victor would come across his mother's chest of magical artifacts, and that's when he first realized that she was actually a witch. He would study up in the ways of his mother and develop a true talent for sorcery and also science. This would ultimately lead to him getting a scholarship to State University in the U.S., which is where he would first meet his fellow student, Reed Richards, who would become...
So here we go, right? Finally, we have arrived. So all of this happens, and he meets Reed in school.
Mr. Fantastic, as well as Ben Grimm, who would become the Thing. Victor and Reed would develop an interesting relationship, becoming more like rivals than true friends. But one day, Victor would really decide to try to contact his mother in the afterlife, actually inventing an interdimensional communication device. But when Reed would happen to notice Doom's notes one day and pointed out to him the error in his calculations, Victor would get furious, feeling that Reed had invaded his privacy. This prompted him to hurry along and activate his device anyway, which then failed and actually exploded, scarring Victor's face. Being angry, embarrassed, and expelled from school because of this, Doom would leave, roaming about for a long time, blaming Reed for what happened. He would eventually make his way to Tibet, where an order of monks helped him forge the metal mask and armor that he would wear in his new role as Dr. Doom.
Interesting.
This mystically imbued armor was extremely powerful, and with it constantly being evolved with his magical and technological expertise, he would become nearly unstoppable. Dr. Doom, as it was, would now return to Latveria and overthrow the current ruler, making himself the king of his homeland, while also plotting to make himself the ruler of the world. He would win over the love of his nation's people, as well as develop an army of Doombots to enforce his rule. He would even adopt a young orphan named Christophe Bernard, who would step in from time to time to rule the nation whenever Doom was absent. Victor would also go on to become part of Marvel's Cabal, but he would end up leaving the group over differences with Norman Osborn. He would even play a major role during the Secret Wars, actually working with Molecule Man and Doctor Strange to salvage portions of reality as a new battle world. An extremely powerful, almost godlike Doom would then make himself the ruler of this place, installing Sue Richards, aka Invisible Woman, as his wife, and having Valeria and Franklin Richards as his children. It was only when Reed Richards, who had survived the destruction of his reality, appeared on Battleworld that Doom's control started to slip.
Yeah, so we'll stop there on that, because that's kind of what I want to get into next, okay? By the way, amazing little run here with the infamous Iron Man, where Doom basically makes an Iron Man suit out of his like armor. It's incredible. It's really, really cool. But so that's sort of the beginning of the, I guess, education on Doctor Doom. It's kind of, look, it's just kind of a cool. It's not only a cool character, and obviously like he's really, really OP, right? I mean, it's almost like laughable, you know what I mean? As you watch it, you're like, oh my god, like what can't this dude, right? But at the same time, the thing that I think makes the character so interesting is his flaws. So like his interactions with Reed and everything, and I think the thing that is really interesting about Reed is that Reed represents sort of like a counterbalance for Victor, and Reed is smarter than Victor. Like they're probably the two smartest people in the Marvel universe. It's debatable. Like some people would tell you like Amadeus Cho or like, even Hank Pym or, the leader or, whatever. I think Reed and Doom are the two smartest people in the Marvel universe, and Reed just outpaces Victor. And not only that, though, this is, I think, the other side of this is that it's not just that Reed is a little bit smarter than him. It's also that, like, at the end of the day, Victor views his intelligence and his life and struggle as license to be a tyrant. So he sort of views his superiority as license for him to rule. And Reed is totally not that way. Like Reed is like not a tyrant at all. Okay? And the thing that's fascinating about Secret Wars, and I think the reason that, and what I'm really hoping Feige does with all of this, is set it up in a way that as we head towards this and we introduce these characters, that their relationship together and their rivalry and the differences that they have it must really be on full display. Because, now I'll sort of take you through a little bit of what happens in Secret Wars. But I mean, you heard a little bit of what dude was saying. He said Doom, when he becomes God, he takes Reed's family. So when Victor recreates reality, he literally makes Sue his wife, and he makes the kids his kids. And they all just think that's the way it is, because he makes it that way. But if you really take a step back and sort of understand what happened there, this was a guy or a character that had godlike power and had the ability to have anything, and did his best to sort of save reality, and we are owed for that, or he is owed for that. Like that was obviously a great deed. But then, with that godlike power, he takes the family and the life of his greatest rival. And the thing is, you can read that in a couple of different ways. Like, I think some people would read that as like, yo, Doom's just being petty, and like that's some cold shit. But I don't think it's that at all. I think he's truly jealous, and was truly jealous and lonely. So he's truly jealous of what Reed had. You know what I mean? And he's truly jealous of that love and everything like that. You know what I mean? And, the thing that's really interesting about Victor during the run of Secret Wars is, like, at the beginning, you can actually tell that he's doing a decent job. Like, he's doing a decent job at ruling and keeping everything together. And things kind of slowly unravel, and it really is the appearance of Reed that makes Victor go crazy. But what's interesting is like, once Reed shows up, like, Doom literally is not that good leader anymore. He gets like petty and weird and starts to slip, and what's really interesting is I don't want to give away the complete ending of that story because I think it's fantastic. No pun intended. But Reed and Doom sort of become locked up in battle, and they sort of, as they're fighting, they're also having a dialogue, and the dialogue is essentially about what Victor did and him becoming God and doing all these things and all that. And then, like Reed kind of says like, yeah, you did that and you did a great job. But the problem here is that, I would have done a better job. And Victor, like, it's weird. Like, basically in this weird moment, Victor admits that Reed would have done a better job. And then through means that I won't fully explain, because again, you should read it, Reed is gifted the power that Victor had. And then Reed and his family, with the help of Franklin, sort of sets things right. So basically what happens is like the multiverse crashes, breaks apart, and becomes Battle World. And in Doom's mind, he's like, I just saved everything. Now I'm going to rule everything. It's all gravy. It's all good, baby. Eventually, it gets to the point where that power then goes into Reed, and Reed, with the help of his family, actually recreates the multiverse and like tries to set things back to the way that they were. And he's not content to live as Emperor, God, King, whatever, on this like faux reality. He wants to try to set things back, and they do. And so, look, I love that story, and that ending is fantastic. Again, I didn't mean the pun, but like it is fantastic. It's really, really good. And so, taking a step back from that, guys, if we talk about what's going on with this lead up to Secret Wars and kind of what we think is going on with all these castings, it was just reported. Well, a couple of things were just reported, but a couple of days ago, Daniel Richtman talked about how Feige wants to bring Robert Downey Jr. back to have some scenes with Reed Richards. And that's fantastic. That's a fantastic. I got to stop saying the fantastic thing. It's starting to bug me now. It's great. We'll just say that. That's great. Also indicates, as we've talked about a lot before, Feige seems to be pretty aware that with these new characters, it could be smart. It could be a smart play to use other older characters to help establish it. You know, right now we think Chris Evans as Captain America is very likely to come back, not just for Doctor Strange 2, but for a couple of Wolverine projects with whoever the new Wolverine in the MCU is going to be. And that whole idea is just to give fans an association and attachment to the new Wolverine. Everybody loves Cap. Everybody loves Chris Evans. That's a winning formula. They will likely do the same with characters like Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom, right? And so when it comes to Reed having some conversations with Tony, bringing Tony back and having him have dialogue with Reed, especially if said dialogue is in reference to the crazy breaking of the multiverse, which will take us to Secret Wars. Yes, it absolutely makes sense and would benefit the audience to have Reed and Tony Stark have some scenes. Okay? And then, you know, as I've been saying for a long, long time, all of these actors are coming back for Secret Wars. All of them. The question is whether or not they're going to come back for things in between. That was the only real question for me. And I think the Chris Evans deal is a new deal. I think that's a relatively new idea. I think that's a new thing. I think Chris changed his mind. I think things change. I think 2020 changed a lot. Right? So, you know, you start to think about this and, you know, bringing Tony back, having Tony have some interaction with Reed, okay, solid. The possibility of the Fantastic Four coming into Ant-Man 3, also solid, also really cool, and would make sense. And then on the side of Victor being in Black Panther 2 and beginning to set up the machinations of Doom, I think is brilliant. There was also a report months ago that we talked about that there's evidence to suggest that Disney wants to do a Doctor Doom Disney Plus show. What? Yes, please. Yes, freaking please. Yes, please. I'll take 2. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Good God. Good gravy, Marie, by the beard of Zeus. I can't believe it. Doctor Doom, Disney Plus, 6 to 8 hours of Doom content. Don't puss out and give me these 24-hour WandaVision bullshit episodes of Viking. Give me the juice, baby. I need like 6 to 8 hours of Victor, and go crazy with it. Go crazy with it, dude. Go crazy. Show us the machinations, the Doom bots, the magic, the tech, everything. Blackmail, you know what I mean? Extortion. Hypnosis, brain hacking, time travel, spirit swap, all just go crazy. But doing it in Black Panther 2 and sort of in the wake of Endgame, setting up this sort of environment and the world is in fear and we are looking to get heroes and armies and defenses consolidated, a character like Doctor Doom thrives in such an environment. So there's a lot of smoke around these characters, around this idea. So I guess that's enough rambling, and we can kind of just talk about it and get into Q&A. I am going to have to take a hall pass and go use the restroom, though. So I'm going to have to probably take a short little break. Josh is really obsessed with Secret Wars. Yes. How much Secret Wars do I want? Yes. Oh, it's this song. Yo, this song is a good potty break song because it's fire. Listen to this shit. Chet, turn it up for them. Jesus. Yo. Arriba. I'll be back. Man, that song is just so cute. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of that song. All right, let's get into Q&A. Let's get into Q&A. Let's just chat it up. Shorter stream today, probably. I guess. Gonna get out of here in just a second. Got to lots of things to take care of today. Lots of things on the agenda. Alright, let me get to the... Okay, let's see. Jonathan says, you're listening to Transformer Sex Sounds Volume 1. Amen. Rogue Soul with the $10 holla says, Josh, you went pretty hard on Nerd Theory last night, and I loved it. Well, I'm glad you loved it. I was worried that maybe I had went too hard, but the consensus, I think, seems to be it was just right, you know? It was just right. So thank you, Rogue Soul, and also welcome to the Nerd Vengers Prime members, man. Dang. I hate to not have a Sunday stream on the week that you signed up, but next week will be fire, and there's all those crazy streams that you can go back and watch. Also, you said Keanu as Ghost Rider or bust. Okay, so the new rumor on that is that they want Nick Cage. They want Nick Cage, Ghost Rider. And they want him bad. But we'll see. We'll see if they can get him. Maybe they can get him for a cameo. Maybe they can get him Doctor Strange 2. Maybe they can get him. Who knows? Zach Crenshaw, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You're a Nerd Venger now. Tyler DeKid, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You're a Nerd Venger now as well, my friend. And Tasman627, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You're a Nerd Venger now. Dan Larkin says, with Kang confirmed, how do you think he'll fit into all of this? I think Kang has a large role to play in all of this. I'm really interested. Okay, let me explain something that I think is kind of crazy. I think they're setting up the Cabal or something like the Cabal, and they're trying to set up like villainous alliances. I think Kang and Mephisto could be working together. I think Kang, Mephisto, and Nightmare could be working together. I think there could be I think there could be really interesting things going on with that. Kang as Iron Lad is likely to be set up in the Young Avengers. Possibly even teased in Loki. So there's a lot they can do with Kang. Kang is fascinating. So I'm hoping we get a ton with him, man. So thank you for the support. Appreciate it. Mason says, I like to see Lowen Guffard in Council of Reeds. So I'm not sure. Let me see something here. I'll just do it real quick. Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's the guy that played in the Fox Reed. I would love it. I think you're 100% on with that, man. It would be fantastic to get him to come back in. I love that kind of stuff. I love that nostalgia. I think that stuff's fantastic, so I'm all for it. FanJex with the $5 holla says, who's your guess for the mysterious KOTOR studio? I'm thinking one of these. Riot, IO, Hi-Rez, Epic Games, Valve. Yeah, certainly could be any of those. The studio that with the BioWare guys that someone hit me with last night, like Drew Karpyshyn, like some of the BioWare guys actually have a small studio. So if it's them, yo, let's go. Other than that, I like Riot. I also really like CD Projekt Red, and it would totally line up with Disney's ability to sign big deals with companies that have a credible track record, and then as soon as they sign the deal, a massive controversy hits the company. So the pattern fits there, so maybe it's CD Projekt Red. Who knows? But I'm just glad it's not EA. And the current BioWare, which is a shadow of itself. Rogue Soul with the $5 holla says, no, Nick Cage, the bees. Nick Cage is coming, baby. Nick Cage is coming for you. Dude, I love Nick Cage as Ghost Rider. I actually am a super... Okay, so I'll tell you a quick funny Nick Cage story. I have a buddy that, when I was younger, that hated Nick Cage. And we would always like hang out and like we'd play poker together and party, and sometimes we'd just chill, you know. And I remember one day I was like, dude, you gotta watch this movie. You gotta watch this movie. And I knew him being a Nick Cage fan or whatever, you know. And I made him watch Adaptation. Has anybody ever seen the movie Adaptation? I think it was Spike Lee and it was Charlie Kaufman, and I think Spike Lee directed it. Has anybody seen Adaptation? Wait, was it Adaptation? Yeah, it was Adaptation. Where Nick Cage plays two characters. He plays Charlie Kaufman and his twin brother. And so I made my buddy watch a movie where Nick Cage did a lot of scenes with himself. It's Cage on Cage action. You know what I mean? It's Cage on Cage all day. And my buddy freaked out, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful trolling. Crazed Panda says, Doom show about his vendetta with Mephisto would slap. That actually would be real cool, bro. Especially if they set Mephisto up properly in this, John, with WandaVision. Yeah. I think you're right on with that, and that would be really, really cool. But there's also like the tech side of that too. So look, there's a lot of Doom. There's plenty of Doom to go around. Rogue Soul says, also, if they get Nick Cage, would that mean they have to get the same guy who was Mephisto in that movie? No. Not necessarily, but, also that could be cool. I think Feige thinks about these things. He's probably like, well, what if we did? And he thinks about it. So, could be. Like I said, I'm still leaning towards, I want Pacino. I'm still like, dude, Pacino, Mephisto, let's make that happen. Can we make Pacino, Mephisto happen? And then, yeah. If Pacino's Mephisto, dang. Axid says, yesterday got to start the lead to Secret Wars. Oh, dope, man. I think you're talking about the comics, like you started the comics. That is fantastic, man. That's fantastic. Good for you. I hope you enjoy it. It's a great run of books, man. The Jedalorian Velez says, can you show us your fave/nerdiest prize possession? That's an interesting question. I'd have to think about it. What's my great... Let me think about it for just a second. I don't know if I have a favorite one. They all, if I like them, they mean something to me, right? You know what I mean? So, here, I'll show you one thing. So I'm a big Dungeons and Dragons person. So this is a Advanced Dungeons and Dragons by Gary Gygax. This is actually a pretty rare book to have. I like it a lot. I also bought it from a I bought it from a bookshop in the town I went to college in recently, actually. And I always like getting nice things from places that I've supported in the past. So yeah, that's one. Let's see. What else we got going on here? What about Doom steps in at the end of WandaVision for the assist? I mean, yeah, of course. But, you know, you got to use them sparingly. You don't want to just cuck fucking WandaVision, you know what I mean? Like, leave Doom. You got to be sparing with that, you know? Even in Black Panther 2, you can't have Doom all over that movie. Namor, like, and this is where, at least for me, this is where I'm starting to go with it, where I'm like, no, it's going to be great that Namor's the main sort of thing, and then there's all this problems, and then Doom will be there, but sort of like in the background. That's the way I think they're going to play it, and that's the way they should play it. Cameron Glick says, I'm hyped for all the lead up to Secret Wars, but would Secret Wars be the end of the MCU, like the last Avengers film? No, because after Secret Wars, because first of all, there have been multiple Secret Wars, but also after the Secret Wars, you just lead towards Avengers versus X-Men. It's a little backwards to what they did in the comics, but I think that's the move. Like, we're going to do Secret Invasion. Like, we're going to head into Secret Invasion into Secret Wars. It's like a multiverse kind of thing. And then after Secret Wars, they'll probably start doing Avengers versus X-Men. You'll have a new established Avengers team. You'll have a new established X-Men team. It'll also allow Feige to do another status quo reset where he can even recast characters after Secret Wars. And then it's like they'll probably set it up stable for Avengers vs. X-Men, I think. Drum and Company with the $5 holla says, use Doom in Black Panther 2 like exactly like Thanos in the first Guardians movie, right? And also, I'm not supposed to talk about this, but I think they are absolutely going to do that with Doom. I think Doom, and this is another thing I said. I was like, dude, this is fucking crazy. They're about to make Thrawn the Thanos of Star Wars, which we don't have to talk about. And they're about to make Doctor Doom the Thanos of the MCU. I could not ask for cooler shit, dude. That is my shit. That is my shit. Like, I have to pinch myself sometimes. I'm like, dude, this is definitely just a simulation. This is probably just an hallucination that you've created. Like, maybe the real Josh is somewhere in an insane asylum, like, wrapped up, and I'm just hallucinating this whole thing because it's too fucking good. It's too good. And if that's true, keep those pills or needles coming, and don't let me wake up because I'm having way too much fun here, and I don't want to go back to the cell. The Lamback says, do you buy the physical copy of comic books, or do you just read the digital copy? So normally I will read the digital copy on like a floppy or a monthly book, and then I'll get the either a hardback or a paperback trade. Or like a collected edition. Like that's kind of my thing. But yeah, I stopped buying floppies physically a while ago, unless it's like a specific floppy. Like I think I bought, whenever they do their bullshit events and shit. Like I'll buy some floppies then, but mostly not. Mostly not, my friend. Mostly not. All right. I think we're probably gonna call it there. I'll hang in the regular chat for just a little bit here, but the only floppy I got was, oh, Trinity, how dare you? Imagine female versions of Magneto, Professor Xavier. I wonder how that would go over, dude. But why not do that in an Elseworld and have them just be savage? Like, it would be awesome, dude. Are you kidding me? Is Richard smarter than Stark? Absolutely. So I'll touch on that for a second because I think it's actually kind of an interesting dynamic. Reed is definitely smarter than Stark, but Stark is a better builder. Stark is a better builder than Reed. And Reed builds fantastically too. It's a weird, like, it's almost like a double helix where it's like they're so close, but Tony is definitely not as smart and Reed is definitely not as good of a builder, okay? And this was important at the end of Secret Wars because when they were deciding about the arc, a lot of people were really burnt on Tony at that time, and they were literally like, we do not need Tony Stark in the new world. And Reed, who again is the smartest person in the Marvel Universe, was like, no, we will need builders. Tony is the best builder in the multiverse. We need him. Okay. Okay, you understand? Big Stevie says, is the Secret Wars storyline available as one massive story on digital? And thanks for making me realize I know jack shit about Marvel yesterday. Yeah, it's all available digital. I don't know what those bundles or packages are, actually. So, you know what I mean? Like, you'd have to do a little research in there, but yeah, it's all available. Oh, shit, Brian Bufka got a diamond badge. Looks good, man. Woo! Who do I see playing? I mean, I'm so bad with the castings and stuff like that. I wouldn't even want to speculate, but I mean, I don't know. I like Fassbender, but I like Viggo Mortensen. I think Viggo could be a great Doom. Abigail Brand in WandaVision. I haven't heard that she'll be in there, but it could work. That could play. What's usually in the thumbnail if you aren't going to mention him? So the rumor there, and thank you for bringing this up, actually, Jazzy. So the rumor there, and I actually meant to talk about this earlier, and I'll sort of pontificate about this for a little bit. There's a rumor that Joseph Gordon-Levitt is going to be Reed Richards in the 616, and I know a lot of people are pulling for John Krasinski, and my belief on that, it's actually funny. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I'll tell you what I think is going on. What I think is going on is that they were going to do Cap. They were going to do Hydra Cap, and John Krasinski was going to be the Hydra Cap for Doctor Strange 2. And I think Hydra Cap in Doctor Strange 2 is actually going to be a pretty significant character. And this is kind of spoilery, like whatever. Everybody just get over it. Hydra Cap, I think, will end up being a big villain for the multiverse. But the thing that was going to be crazy about that was that they were going to have John Krasinski do it. Now that Chris is maybe going to do it, and they might set up like a Sam Wilson versus Chris cap on cap Hydra multiverse thing. Now that that's on the table, one must wonder, well, what are they going to do with, John? What are they going to do with Krasinski? Does that now mean that Krasinski could have the path forward as Reed? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I think in Feige's mind, he really doesn't want John. I feel like there's a lot of resistance in his mind to having Krasinski and Emily Blunt be the first family. It's just, that's a lot of power over there and negotiating leverage, and it would just be like, I don't know, I feel like you're opening yourself up to like some weird stuff. It would almost be better for them to go with more relatively unknown actors, right? But there is the report that Joseph Gordon-Levitt was looked at and was thought to be Reed. I personally think he'd be a great Reed. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Do you think Joseph Gordon-Levitt could be Mr. Fantastic or nah? Or nah? What you think? Silver Surfer could work, yeah. A lot of people are like, nah. Yeah, see, that's the thing is like, because we actually talked about it before, and it seemed like a lot of people were not for it, which is interesting. So we'll see. But that's why he's in the thumbnail. I apologize about not talking about it. The bunk says, Josh, why did you go after Star Wars fans last night and not Lucasfilm? What's the M there? Am I missing something here? I think you're just talking about Lucasfilm, right? Who cannot get out of their own way for causing troubles. Are you scared of the backlash from sequel trilogy fans? No, I'm not scared of any backlash. But here's the thing. This is what I find kind of interesting is I did go after Lucasfilm. I went after everybody. And, look, I'm not going to accuse the bunk of anything, but I will just say that I have noticed that basically what happens is when you call out everybody, people tend to only notice themselves getting called out, and they tend to ignore that you're calling out the other people as well, and they just get offended, and then they are like, why'd you call me out? Again, I'm not accusing you of that, the bunk, but let's be real, you probably are just doing that. I think Ghost Rider would be sick to bring back. I agree. Will we see Magneto as a big bad eventually? Oh, yeah. I think he'll be a relatively big bad for sure. For sure. I missed your super chat? Did I really? And I missed Mike's super chat? Are they coming in now? What the hell, guys? I said no mas. Okay. Nathan Tattoo says Thomas Gibson as Reed Richard. I don't know who this is. Let me look it up real quick. Let me look it up. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, dude. Let's go. That works. He's got the look. I like it. Thank you, brother. Mike Border says, how excited are you about all the Marvel characters coming to and coming back to the MCU? I'm very happy about this. I'm thrilled. I am absolutely thrilled. It's a brilliant move. It was probably always the move. It's funny how it's just funny how people are like now coming to this understanding. People like bitch for like over a year. The MCU's probably done. Chris Evans is gone. Iron Man's gone. All they got's Captain Marvel. And it's like, Jesus Christ. First of all, that's not even true. Second of all, they're all back. Shut the fuck up. That's what I feel like. I'm going to be honest. Me and the internet, not on good terms. Not on good terms. I'm just done. Like, in a lot of ways, I just feel done, like, acting. You know what I mean? Like, I'm done playing this game where, like, I'm going to act like you're saying shit in good faith or motherfuckers are trying to be real. It's all theater, and I'm sick of it, dude. Damian Stitchman says, what are your thoughts on a potential Maximum Carnage movie, either in Venom 3 or as its own film? Look, Maximum Carnage is cool, man. I don't know. Aren't we kind of getting a version of that? Doesn't it kind of feel like we're getting a version of that in There Will Be Carnage or whatever horrible ass title that movie has? Yeah, it's that would be cool, but I'm not like super like on that Maximum Carnage stuff. Like, it was cool, but it's not like the craziest thing. Carnage is dope though. I'm more of like, honestly, I like Flash Thompson Venom better than Eddie Brock. Like, Agent Venom was incredible. So I wish we could get to that, but I guess Sony's kind of got that wrapped up, huh? Snyderverse? Whew. No big updates on Snyderverse. I would love some big updates on Snyderverse. I'd love to be able to tell Snyderverse fans, it's all gravy. You're all getting exactly what you want. And it's gonna be dope. All right, ladies and gentlemen. This will be the last break for Star Wars content. Once the shows drop, it'll be much better than the... Yeah, I agree. Corporation causing issues in the fan base. You're focusing on it. Yeah, take some responsibility for yourself, brother. I missed a super chat again? What? Oh, X of Swords? I haven't read any of it, to be honest. I haven't read any of it, so. Haven't read it. I haven't read it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get out of here. Michael C. Hall from Dexter or Giancarlo. Ooh, both good choices. I'm weary on Giancarlo as Doom. I don't know, but it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. Maybe Michael C. Hall. Maybe Michael C. Hall. We'll see. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you all on the flippy floppy. Should be a vid coming out later today. Plenty of Marvel stuff to talk about. So we'll get into all of that. And yeah, as I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Yeah, I would never, like, call someone directly a pussy. You know what I mean? Like, an anonymous person in a chat. I would never be like, yo, you kind of seem like a puss. But the bunk, I was pretty close. Ta-ta for now, motherfucker.